it in towards the leg stump and the full.
Go, Aussie, go. Go, Aussie, go. Go, Aussie, go. Let's hear it. Go, Aussie, go. Let's cheer it. Go, Aussie, go. Let's hear it. Go, Aussie, go. Let's cheer it. Go, Aussie, go. Let's hear it. Go, Aussie, go. Let's cheer it. Go, you golden greens. Let's hear it. Keep the spirit glowing. Part of all our dreams. Legend keeps on growing. Go, you golden greens. Keep the spirit glowing. Part of all our dreams. Legend keeps on growing. Go, you golden greens. Keep the spirit glowing. Part of all our dreams. The legend keeps on growing. Go, you golden greens. Keep the spirit glowing. Part of all our dreams. Legend keeps on growing. Go, you golden greens. Keep the spirit glowing. Part of all our dreams. Legend keeps on growing. Go, you golden
They're in the air, the Aussies.
The hits, the misses, they're all here on Dino the Video. Dean Jones takes us on a whistle-stop tour of a great cricketing career. The highlights,
Oh, he smashed that one.
the inside stories,
Nobody was waiting for me.
the characters, Botham, Hadley, Richards, the most explosive Australian cricketer of our time and one of the most outspoken opens up. Dino, it's out on video and a must for every cricket lover.
Hello there and welcome to One Day Wonders. I'm Tony Jones and we bring you two fantastic one-day matches with the Aussies taking on the Windies in the first final of the 1988-89 series. But first we go to the Sydney Cricket Ground for the penultimate match in the 1990-91 season with the Aussies playing England. Now going into this match, England needed to win one of their two remaining matches to oust New Zealand and play the home side in the best-of-three finals. Now this game was played on a pretty hot and humid New Year's Day. In fact, New Year's Day 1991. When the two sides swapped team sheets, the selectors had settled on Marsh, Boone, Jones, the Wars and Border, with O'Donnell, Healy, Taylor, Alderman and Big Carl Rackman making up the 11 there. England, meanwhile, selected Graham Gooch. Now, Gooch collected his OBE on the morning of the match, which was a bit of an honour there for the skipper. Then followed Larkins, Atherton, Smith, Stewart, Morris, De Freitas, Small, Eddie Hemmings, Fraser and Phil Tufnell. Graham Gooch, OBE, won the toss and invited the Aussies to have a bit of a hit first. And when we join play, David Boone is taking strike to Gladstone Small.
That's a wide. In fact, there's four wides.
I think that's an indication that Gladstone hasn't been able to get to the nets too often. Perhaps the humidity also contributing there.
Certainly slipped out of the fingers. Went way down leg side, but not a good start by Gladstone Small. No ball and four wides after a wonderful over from Angus Fraser. Angus Fraser continues. Oh, close, got him, yes, good delivery. Boone hitting across the line, pays the penalty, and Angus Angus Fraser strikes.
He's annoyed with himself, David Boone. I think he just wandered onto the back foot. I think he was hoping to get something just a little bit shorter, and he was going to whip it over mid-wicket or through mid-wicket. But he missed. And by bowling straight, if they miss, you hit. A wicket to Angus Fraser. Just what Graham Gooch needed. And Australia are 1 for 15.
Dean Jones, arguably the best one-day batsman in the world, strides to the centre of the Sydney cricket ground full of confidence. He's there because Angus Fraser caught David Boone plumb in front when he tried to work the ball on the onside.
So he was definitely looking to hit through mid-wicket. And he was quite annoyed with himself when he missed that one and was adjudged LBW by his Tasmanian umpire. Fellow Tasmanian giving him out.
Grants is fine, will race away for 4. The run rate lifted immediately by Dean Jones.
Yes, I think he's the best one-day batsman in the world at the moment. I think he's probably more consistent than anybody else. Certainly the only other one who might challenge him would be Desmond Haynes, as Bill Lawry mentioned. But he certainly gets the opposition going. As soon as he comes to the crease, they get the jitters in the field. Bowlers just seem to have a bit of a problem maintaining line and length when they're bowling to Dean Jones, and that's because Jones is always on the lookout for runs. He's taking it up to the bowlers.
Oh, he's hit that straight down the ground. It's a magnificent shot. One bounce and into the crowd. And don't forget, he's doing that to Fraser. And the reason he can do it is because he's got so much batting depth. He knows that there are plenty of batsmen in the side that can bat, and so there's no point in hanging around. Have a look at this.
Everyone here at the ground appreciates that, except Angus Fraser.
Gladstone Small to take up the attack at the members' end.
Good shot. He's been hanging in there for one that's relatively well pitched up. That wasn't exactly a half volley, but it was up there, and he decided that it was time to go. Watch this for a cover drive.
His head right down over the ball. We still the eyes.
This is to Freitas. Off the edge and dropped. The frustrations associated with this game of cricket.
It's very awkward. It's on the left hand. Lean back, and they either stick or they don't. Slightly on his heels when this one comes to him. He wasn't down, he was more up.
Oh, that's a bad ball, and what a shot. He has murdered that one. And the England captain saying that is garbage, and he's right.
Got what it deserved. Pitched in to Freitas half. Stood up and said, hit me wherever you like.
Jones just loves them there. Oh, he's got that one away too. One bounce and into the fence down there. Well, Dean Jones is not going to be bogged down at any stage while he's out there. He's having a great run.
Very few coaching manuals that give bowlers advice when bowling to batting like this. And sheer arrogance. Stand and deliver.
Philip Tufton, left arm around the wicket to the right-hander. Beautifully judged. Gladstone Small is the man out on the boundary. Philip Tufnell takes the wicket. The slow bowler has struck for England. 2 down. The men out, Boone and Jones. Good afternoon, Jeff Boycott.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, that's great field placing by England. They talked about Dean Jones the other day in Melbourne. He likes to hit over the top to the spinners, but he likes to hit to the onside. There's a man out at deep long on, straight down his throat. Good safe catching by Gladstone Small. And thank you very much to the main Australian danger man. Dean Jones out for 25. Absolutely delighted England players.
2 for 60 Australia, having been put into bat by England. Border is 1 and Marsh 18. Batsman out, Boone 4 and Jones 25. The offside field for Philip Tufnell. He has a man at backward point, 1 at cover, 1 at extra cover, and a man at mid-off. He's bowling round the wicket, so he will be able to get anything that goes to his left hand, but not that. That is close to unpardonable without a man back as sweeper.
Yes, it's a really bad ball. It's short and it's wide of off stump, giving the batsman plenty of room. He could have picked his spot anywhere he wanted between the cover point and backwards square. And that's the one thing he can't do, is bowl short. Graham Gooch will be encouraging him to pitch the ball up whatever he does.
That's beautifully hit. Now then, Tufnell has a problem, and so does Gooch.
Yes, he does, because this is a sweet shot from Jeff Marsh. It's a fairly straightish, well-pitched-up delivery. Just what I talked about, and yet Marsh has played an exquisite sort of drive, square drive, come sweep. Good shout there, he's out. Great shout, sweep from Jeff Marsh. The umpire thought about it. With great delight, Philip Tufnell. Jeff Marsh has fancied sweeping the young spinner. And here he is, foot down the pitch. The umpire had a good look at the line. And to Tufnell's great delight, a wicket, another one. Jeff Marsh played very well to his 29. Australia now 3 for 72.
Mark Waugh, new batsman, coming in at 3 for 72.
And it's going to be spin in the form of Hemmings.
But there is one at deep square. Who's got him? Gladstone Small has taken the catch again. That was hit right off the meat of the bat, and I reckon Border, the instant it was on its way, reckon it was 4 runs.
Well, Alan Border just walking out with a little shake of the head there. I think it's right, Richie Bennell says he's hit this absolutely banging the meat of the bat, because he hit it straight at the fielder. Gladstone Small has not even had to move. He just stood there, waited for it to come comfortably in at waist height, to the great delight of the England players. That now leaves Australia 4 for 82.
Yes, they're not very old, these brothers, but they've certainly had a bit of experience. 103 matches. Oh, and that one's been hit into the gap. Gladstone Small once again doing the chasing, but he won't get there. It could quite easily have gone to short mid-wicket.
Yes, there seems to be an inordinate amount of urgency about the Australian batting.
Oh, there's a mix-up. Oh, my goodness gracious me. You would not believe that that was possible. He got so excited, in came the throw, perfectly good too. He had all the time in the world. And have a look at the look on the face of the captain.
Eddie Hemmings' throw was perfect, and Steve Waugh had given up. He wasn't even trying to make his ground. Tufnell taking his eye off the ball.
Yes, well, Stephen kept coming, and then he gave it away. Look, and, oh, he dropped it, and he all of a sudden thought there's a chance here. My goodness. Those are the 4 wickets to have fallen so far, the little blue circles. But you can see there that it's all over the place as far as really getting stuck in is concerned. Oh, and that's out, caught behind. Yes, definitely. There's no doubt about that one. And I can tell you, Philip Tufnell will very, very much enjoy seeing an umpire's finger go up for a caught behind.
That's what it was. That was the plan. He didn't want to run Steve Waugh out. He wanted to get him out. And at the second grab, Alex Stewart's got it. A thick edge there off the bowling of Tufnell, trying to cut one too close to him. Someone's come up and given him a cuff in the ear. Eddie Hemmings it was. And the 5th wicket is down. Steve Waugh out for 3. Australia 5 for 93.
Simon O'Donnell, one of all of Australia's favourite one-day cricketers. Oh, it's got through. Down to the boundary at extra cover there. Desperate lunging Englishman trying to cut this one off.
Freitas is the fielder. The outfield is exceptionally fast, and that's the fast side. Down towards the Brawongle stand. Very quick down there.
He smashed that. That's 6. It's a big one. Oh, it's a huge 6. Simon O'Donnell, he's not about to get bogged down. He smashed that way back into the crowd. 11 runs from the over, and Australia advanced to 5 for 118.
You can see what I mean about the timing of Simon O'Donnell. That wasn't a big swing of the bat, but it's gone up into the first row of the O'Reilly stand. Not the concourse, but into the actual stand, well into the first level of the O'Reilly stand rather than the first row, the first level. And well caught.
There's a big hit. There's a man up there. That's going wide to mid-wicket. One bounce over. There's 2 in the deep, 1 at square leg, 1 at mid-wicket. That was square. Beautifully struck.
Well, he's such a clean striker, is Simon O'Donnell. He's just beginning to think he fancied the off-spinner and not the left-arm spin of Tufnell with the ball going away from him. It makes it that much more difficult, but he's picked this up so cleanly and well. And I think Gooch is going to have to put a man out there on the mid-wicket boundary and at mid-on.
5 for 160, Eddie Hemmings, the bowler. Didn't time that, but even so, it's still gone 1 bounce into the crowd. It made rather an odd sound off the bat, and he was nowhere near the pitch of it, but he still got it away between those 2 fielders.
It's a big target area out there. Shot was accurate.
And that's beautifully played.
He runs.
That's a really good innings from Mark Waugh. 5 for 165 Australia after 40.
The partnership continues here. O'Donnell and Waugh doing the job after an indifferent start by the Australians. That 4 brings it to 85, the worth of the partnership. The value of this pair is their power hitting. Not happy with just good running, pushing a single here. They have the potential to consistently hit boundaries. Crowd are very, very vocal in what they want.
50 for Simon O'Donnell, with the Australian score going on to 187. Like Mark Waugh, he's played a delightful innings.
Peter Taylor back in the Australian camp, applauding his teammate. That's why Simon O'Donnell has played so many one-day internationals.
What a great hit. Gosh, he gave that something. I heard that the bat Simon O'Donnell is using is one of the best pickup bats you could ever find anywhere. They say it's a magnificent piece of willow.
The speed at which he wields that bat is all important too. The pace of the blade at the point of contact. Very strong man.
5 for 203. Now Angus Fraser is going to bowl over number 47, and it will be his 9th over.
Well, it's in the air. This has got to be out. It's in the air. That'll be it. Yes, he's got him. Larkins ran a long, long way for that one. And he eventually got there, and he still caught round about his waist. All that really matters is he got him, and that's brought a few of those Union Jacks out.
A fine piece of bowling by Fraser. Larkins took a very well-judged catch. Big crowd in, full house. He's flat out. He's 37 years of age. He judged it beautifully. The end of a fine knock from Mark Waugh. Showed a touch class here this afternoon. A record partnership with Simon O'Donnell. Steadied the ship for Australia. Only 68 balls faced for 62 at 6 for 205.
Ian Healy, the new batsman. This is Fraser's last over. Into the gap, and they'll settle for one, I should think. Now they're coming back for the second, and he'll be out here. Oh, it's hit the stumps, and he's said not out. There's a little shake of the head there. O'Donnell looks around very quickly. That wasn't a bad throw.
It was an excellent throw. It was also excellent running. He had that covered one, felt Simon O'Donnell, but he picked it up and got rid of it quickly. And O'Donnell was struggling, and he just gets there. Good running.
Oh, you've got good eyes, William.
Simon O'Donnell lifting his strike rate for the wide Willis Courts. Batting bonanza. He's in there for a chance for $10,000. He only needs 30 runs to qualify now.
Oh, he's let down the bat. That's what happens when you try and smash it out of the ground every ball. Your hands get a little sticky. You just got to hope there's no forward short leg in position.
Yes, well, he's going for the big one. He didn't do a Rodney Marsh. He didn't break it in half because he didn't make contact. And the man at mid-wicket was in danger there, backing back. And the crowd loving every moment of this onslaught in the final overs.
What happened?
Big buzz here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
That's in the air. This will be out. No doubt about that. He's gone. Healy back to the pavilion. Caught there by Atherton at mid-wicket. That was the ball that time. Hit the splice of the bat and up it went.
And what a very good effort by Angus Fraser. He's bowling straight. He's picked up 3 wickets now. He's been the best of the England bowlers, and Atherton takes a simple catch. Healy trying to get on with the job, but vital deliveries these. It's 7 for 218.
Peter Taylor striding out to the centre now. He's going to join Simon O'Donnell, and this is the reason why.
Peter Taylor taking guard. Ian Healy trying to go the pull shot. A little bit of extra bounce from Angus Fraser. A straightforward catch to Mike Atherton at mid-wicket.
49 overs have been bowled, so just 1 to go now.
Peter Taylor is on strike to De Freitas.
Oh, he's misfielded it. Oh, in fact, did he drop it?
I think he did. I thought that went on the full to Gooch. Have a look at that. I'm not sure whether it was hidden in the ground. It seemed to be a half volley that he crunched. I believe that might have been a catch. A sharp one.
Yes, I think it was a catch. Taylor again. He's missed it, and they're not going to run. So Peter Taylor didn't have a great time of it on that occasion. So England need 222. Double Nelson to win this match at 4.44 runs per over. And what entertainment the fans have had. Simon O'Donnell, 2 sixes and 5 fours in his innings. 91 balls.
So England must have entertained a relatively comfortable run chase when the Aussies were 5 for 93, but Mark Waugh and Simon O'Donnell soon put pay to any meagre total there with a 112-run partnership for the 6th wicket, with Waugh getting 62 and Simon O'Donnell finishing unbeaten on 71. A great knock there. For the bowlers, Gus Fraser and Philip Tufnell each took 3 wickets, while Eddie Hemmings took on the wicket of Border and got it. So with everything to play for, Gooch and Larkins took to the field to score 222 at a rate of 4.4 and over.
Drives well down the offside. That's going to be 4. On off drive. Well placed. What they really need is Atherton and Smith to fire tonight, and they could be in with a real chance.
I think that's the difference at the moment, Bill, is that they have got a couple of informed batsmen opening the innings for them. Early in the series, that wasn't the case.
He's gone, dropped. It was almost a wide. He threw the bat and it flew to Alderman. Got both hands to it. It flies away for 2. Very interesting delivery. It was very wide. He went after it. Larkins, plenty of bat on it. Alderman was the offender at first slip.
Well, this one was pretty easy to see from Alderman's point of view. A little high, but he had all the time in the world. He was up early. He watched it right to the eyebrows, straight to him. Didn't quite get it dead centre. A little too much on the right hand. So a let off.
And Gooch, who looked so good in the second innings in the test match, has to face the music. Oh, good shot. Kept going ball. Another boundary. 2 aspects of this game will be on Graham Gooch's mind. The first of which will be that he needs 2 points. What a good shot that was. He needs 2 points to get through to the... Well, I said to get 6 points. And he needs to be very conscious of the run rate.
Wayne Larkins on strike to Terry Alderman.
In the air and just wide of the fieldsman. Dean Jones there, into the fence it goes. Oh, he hit that one very hard. She's all on her own up there, I can tell you that. No wicket for 61. Australia were 1 for 55. Simon O'Donnell. Oh, and well played. Rolling into the fence for 4. Well, Ian Chappell's completed his little marathon up the stairs and into the commentary box. He's now going to take over with Jeff Boycott.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, marathon, that'll be right. I reckon about 2 days, 10 minutes for me for a marathon these days. Oh, right through Gooch with the off-cutter. That is a good delivery because Gooch was batting extremely well. And that's number 103 for Simon O'Donnell. Takes him exactly level with Dennis Lilly in one-day internationals.
Well, it's a great delivery from Simon O'Donnell. Look how it comes back. It surprises Graham Gooch. After he's bowled out, he's mutters to himself because he's really disappointed with that delivery, although the Australians are absolutely delighted. It did move where most of the balls have been coming on quite true. Graham Gooch out for 37 and England are 1 for 65.
Michael Atherton comes in at number 3. He's just played in the one match in this competition so far this season. That was against New Zealand. And he was punished for some slow scoring. Graham Gooch was punished. I don't know what he was punished for, but he copped a magnificent delivery.
Well, there's hardly been a ball that's moved like that all day. The spinners have got it off the straight a bit. This comes from absolutely nowhere. A superb delivery by Simon O'Donnell. Really surprises Gooch as it nips back, clips the top of middle stump, and Graham's absolutely annoyed with that because he was playing beautifully.
Steve Waugh now from the Randwick end. Slower ball, and he got a hand on it. Very nearly an excellent catch, that. Jeffrey Marsh at mid-off. Got a hand on it.
Well, he certainly saved a 4. He saved 2 runs. They got 2 from that slow leg spinner by Steve Waugh. Some will call that a catch, but I think, to be fair to the player, he really saved it going for a boundary. They got 2 instead of 4.
Nicely played, that one. And in fact, it's absolutely flown away. The outfield extremely quick. I think Simon O'Donnell thought he had it covered, but it raced away.
Well, this is well played by Michael Atherton. He opens the face and it races down to third man. Simon O'Donnell looked to have it, but it went under his body to the disgust of Steve Waugh.
He's made a mistake here, trying to run the ball away again. That wasn't a very good shot at all from Mike Atherton. And once again, he's back in the pavilion without having posted a decent score.
Well, he paid the penalty, he opened the face and ran at the ball before. Here he tries again. You can see the bat open, it slices right open. And really the ball didn't deviate, it just ran across the face of the bat, straight through to the wicketkeeper. Great disappointment for Mike Atherton. Out for 8 of 19 balls, and England are now 2 for 81.
So there's the comparison. 22 overs, and England have lost 2 wickets when Australia had lost 4. Mind you, Australia has a very, very good batting lineup. England won't want to lose too many wickets in a hurry here, otherwise they will be in real trouble, and they are desperate for 2 points. This is Waugh.
Oh, shot. Beautifully played off drive.
That is a magnificent shot. Stewart walks down the pitch there, and you'd have to be saying to him, that is the best shot I've ever seen.
Can I have one of those? He's probably and Larkin's enjoying that shot as well, and rightly so. He's been under a lot of pressure, hit it on the up, he gave himself a bit of room and he found the gap. He's been there for 20 odd overs, Wayne Larkins. He's got a big role to play for England here, but that's beautifully balanced off drive.
Peter Taylor.
There he goes, bowled him. He's nipped back and bowled him through the gate. That little bit of turn there, Larkins left the gate open, and that's the end of him. May well be the end of England too.
Fine delivery. Pictures, and spins through the gate. Good night, Mr. Larkins, as the off stump goes back. Out for 40, and Peter Taylor doing the job for Alan Border and the team. 40 off 84 deliveries at 3 for 103.
Robin Smith, the new batsman. He's out there now, and he's down at the non-strikers end, and Alan Border has decided that he's going to have a bit of a bowl. He saw that one turning a little bit, so he's into the action.
Fine shot. He's a good player. That's put the bad ball away, Alex Stewart. Pull shot, it was a fraction short. Quickly into position. Rackman only had to move about 10 metres. He couldn't make it. He hit that beautifully.
Oh, I don't know where they're going. Looks like an England, they might be leaving the ground. Oh, in the air, and just wide of Border. We've seen him catch 1 or 2 flying in the air to his left. He just couldn't quite get to that one.
Yes, it was Gaslogi he caught in a test match here, and he took 11 wickets on this very pitch with his left arm tweakers. This time Smith just clears Border's outstretched hand. Not a confident start for Robin Smith. There it is on stunt vision. Clear as a whistle. A white ball, but Border couldn't get the left hand to it.
Yes, Smith looks very tense, and those are Peter Taylor's figures. 4.2 overs. 1 for 8. Oh, he's bowled him. That's him. Peter Taylor's done it again. Robin Smith looks so tense. He lunged at that one, and I tell you, I'm sure that had not bowled him, it probably would have ended up in the keeper's gloves and he would have been out-stumped. He's not going to enjoy seeing the replay of this one.
They can't take anything away from Peter Taylor. He's got the ball turned through the gate again. And he's knocked him over. And a disappointing Robin Smith depart. He never looked like it. He was almost caught and bowled to Border. But Peter Taylor striking with 2 fine dismissals. England reeling at 4 for 109.
John Morris. He's out there now to face the music.
Man out there, straight down his throat. So England continue to make mistakes, and they continue to have these middle order collapses.
Steve Waugh takes the catch. Alan Border bringing himself on. So spin bowlers in tandem. It struck pretty well. You've got to hit the ball where the fielders aren't. And Border making yet another breakthrough for Australia. Alex Stewart will be very disappointed after looking the goods. 18, England 5 for 117.
Philip de Freitas comes in at 7, with England once again in trouble after having looked very good early. In the air and caught in the covers. Mark Waugh is the man at cover. And so Peter Taylor picks up his 3rd wicket in his 8th over. A fine spell of bowling.
Good variety from Taylor. Tacked the leg stump. Spinning the ball. Just drifted this one wide of the off stump. Not quite across. Really reaching for that. Not to the pitch of the ball. Taylor, really. What an amazing comeback after the back injury. He's taken 3 wickets. Morris out for 8. Tough time at the crease, and England struggling at 6 for 125. Border's got Simon O'Donnell about 45 degrees, 25 metres off the bat on the sweep.
And easily stumped there by Ian Healy. Bit of turn there for Alan Border, and he just dragged de Freitas down the crease. Ian Healy did the rest. So it's a procession now for England.
Good start to 1991 for Alan Border. 2nd wicket there. Healy. Don't see too many stumpings these days. Look at that. Happiness all round. The Australians doing it in a canter. Philip de Freitas out for 9. England 7 for 135.
Eddie Hemmings, who made his highest score in Test cricket on this very ground back in 82-83, came in as a night watchman and made 95. Australia on the attack again. And working on the theory of hit 'em where they ain't. Well, Eddie could be in trouble. Yes, he's gone. Overestimated his speed. Carl Rackerman has a strong arm, and he threw out Eddie Hemmings easily.
Well, Rackerman, a real run miser with the ball. He hates to see the extra runs going up on the scoreboard, whether bowling or fielding. Eddie Hemmings come into the game after overcoming a calf muscle. This is one way to stretch it out. Just an amble for the first, a chance for the second. Full extension, not enough, Eddie. Border gives him out from the non-strikers end. So too from square leg. Hemmings out for 1. And England now 8 for 136.
Angus Fraser coming in, and he would be entitled to ask his batsman, do I have to do the lot? Do I have to get the wickets and make the runs?
It's pierced the infield. and it will make it out to the boundary. May not seem much the way the game is placed, but they're valuable runs for England.
Oh, that's a good strike. Used his feet there, chipped it nice and firmly, smoothly, over the top of mid-on. That's a lovely shot. The batsman will be proud of that, Gladstone Small. And that's 8 for 149.
That's the 9th down. Border has spun it away from the right-hander again. Gladstone Small has gone for 15. And well, I don't know that was particularly clever.
Well, it looked a bit of a silly shot down the wicket, tries to smash it over cover, it turns a lot, and he's easily beaten back by the wicketkeeper. He got inside the ball and tried to belt it over cover, missed it. He's always going to be stumped because he's out of his crease. And England are 9 for 153.
Philip Tufnell's given a big ovation by the crowd. He's had a mixed day, Tufnell, but then so have England. The end of Border's over. His 9th, 3 for 24 his figures. This is the way he picked up his 3rd.
Well, Gladstone Small shuffling out of his crease, trying a big hit over cover. You could see how simple the stumping was. Healy had a good sight of the ball as it slowly turned. That's a Small out of his crease. It was so simple, like taking candy from a baby.
Sydney, he likes. Bowls well at it, and he's confident. Caught. Good catch. David Boone moving away smartly to his left-hand side. England are all out in the 46th over. And dare I mention it, that is not clever at all.
Well, it's almost criminal, is that, to get out, particularly when you have such a good start. The Australians jubilant. As an Englishman watching here, I feel so sad. Losing is not the end of the world. When you compete 2 sides, you accept you're going to lose some, but I feel so often this tour that England have just given the game away.
When England had rushed to 65 without loss, it seemed inevitable that they would take the points, but then they went and lost all 10 wickets in the space of only 88 runs, with only Gooch making 37 and Larkins 40 able to stretch the Aussie attack. For the home side, Peter Taylor and part-timer Alan Border did the damage, each taking 3 wickets, with Waugh, O'Donnell and Rackman each taking 1. Peter Taylor was awarded Man of the Match honours. Australia went on to defeat England in the next game also, this time in an absolute thriller, and that game is also available in this series of videos. So on to game 2 we go, and look, I've got to tell you, this is an absolute ripper. The date is January the 14th. 1989, and it's the first final in the series of that summer, and the venue is the MCG in front of 70,000 fans on a beautiful Melbourne afternoon this day night it was played in. The Aussies went into the match with Alan Border as skipper, along with Marsh, Boone, Jones, Graham Wood, Steve Waugh, Simon O'Donnell, Ian Healy was there, Peter Taylor, Big Merv and Terry Alderman, while the Windies took to the field with Viv Richards as skipper. He was joined by Haynes and Greenwich. What an opening combination that was. Richie Richardson was there also, Hooper, Logie, Dujon, then the bowlers, Marshall, Ambrose, Bishop and Courtney Walsh. Tony Cozier and Bill Lawrie were in the commentary box when Marsh faced Marshall, and the score was no wicket for 1.
Just dab that away. And all sorts of difficulty down there for Courtney Walsh to try and save it, and eventually it goes for 4.
Well, he kicked it up. He should have got it on the second grab, but he knocked it away. It was a good bit of work with the feet. It was around quickly, got the ball into the air and seemed to knock it away with his hand. Good shot by Marsh, just hoping it's on its way in the first over. Be a little bit nervous. There's the soccer work, but he knocks it away into the gutter.
So Jeff Marsh has the strike again. He's had most of it. 22 deliveries to David Boone's 8. And Boone has not yet managed to get off the mark. It's well placed by Marsh. Not much of a gap there between the Gully and the cover, but it was deliberately placed to the right of Gully.
Well, Richards is giving Marsh the opportunity. He's good enough to work the ball there. Really am surprised he hasn't got another attacking fieldsman to try and break this opening partnership. Even when David Boone comes on strike without a run against his name, there was still a very big gap in the slip cordon. Only Richards and a Gully.
That's well bowled. And David Boone goes without scoring. His 9th delivery proves decisive. Australia have lost their first wicket. Boone caught behind without scoring.
That's a vital breakthrough for the West Indies. A fine piece of bowling. It was a nasty one. It cut back and reared. The ball coming back in. Boone trying to get forward. Got a quick touch. Dujon did the rest. That's a fine piece of bowling by Kirtley Ambrose. Boone's been in good form. Didn't get much of the strike here this afternoon. And failed to get off the mark after facing 9 deliveries. It's 1 for 15 in the 6th over.
Well, the new batsman is Graham Wood, which is a little bit of a surprise. He hasn't batted at 3 so far this season. Liam Jones.
Nicely placed. Logie is the fielder. Oh, and beautifully done. Slipped, was off balance, and yet, had they tried to go for the third, which for a moment or two they thought about, there was no way in the world Marsh could have got there.
That's a brilliant throw from a man who was off balance. He's got a powerful arm for a little bloke. Not much off Gus Logie.
Good catch. Logie again. Wood got that right off the meat of the bat, and Logie anticipated it magnificently.
Well, it would seem that those were the instructions for Graham Wood, because he was lofting away again. But what a brilliant piece of anticipation by Gus Logie. He cut across on the angle. He picked the direction of the shot, and then he still had to hang on to it. What a great fielder this little man is in any position. That's 2 for 26 after 9 overs for Australia.
And that left-hand, right-hand combination stays with Alan Border coming out now to join Marsh, and here's Ambrose. Really timed that well. It went past the man at Gully so fast he only just had time to get up from that crouching position.
Loves this shot, the square cut. That and the cover drive would be Geoffrey Marsh's favourites. He certainly hit that one like a rocket.
And LBW. Umpire must have judged that it struck the pad and then the bat, if it found the bat at all. There's the 3rd wicket down. Marsh goes. Attempted Yorker.
Hitting right on the toe. Steve Randell not in any doubt at all there. He was very quick to judge that LBW. So the West Indies openers doing the job here for their skipper. Australia 3 for 34 in the 12th over.
This is going to be a very important partnership now. Jones and Border out there. Australians have
That's fine shot. To put down the glasses there. That has raced over the turf for a boundary. We had a lot to shout about, the big crowd here at the MCG, but that was a delightful shot. Brings up the half century of just 97 deliveries. The outfield here at the MCG, very fast, looks a picture. In fact, as a player, you couldn't help but lift in front of a crowd like this. 3 tiers high, out of deep mid-wicket.
That's a good shot. Very well played. Australia needed this over. 10 from it. And Border beginning to look dangerous. 3 for 55. He's always dropped it. Well, he popped that one back, and it almost wrong-footed Courtney Walsh. He managed to get one hand up there.
I don't think he could believe the ease with which that came. Not exactly a coordinated body there, arms and legs going in different directions, and the ball just getting through.
Border, still the quickest of the Aussie batsmen. He has the strike. Bishop, the bowler. It's uppishly hit, but down towards the boundary, and well played, Alan Border. Beautiful cut shot. The outfield here is very quick these days. And Curtly Ambrose couldn't quite make it across to cut that one off.
Border taking advantage of the width there, the extra bounce, definitely getting over the top of it. And a big stretch and a long way down for the big fella, 200 centimetres of him.
And Richards just driven down the ground by Jones. Richards here in his 5th over just conceded the 10 runs from his 4, and the approach here by the Australian batsman perhaps to get on with it a bit more against him. That's a good shot. He's got it down between those two fielders for 4. He's found the gap between them, and there's not much of a gap, but Border is a very good cutter, and those are 4 welcome runs.
Perfectly timed and beautifully placed. He didn't hit it all that hard, but the timing was absolutely first class. I believe this pair have to be together when Australia get into the 43rd over. I think that's very important for their chances.
And through again. This time off the front foot for another 4. Out to Richardson, and that's Alan Border's 50.
Well, that's given a lot of pleasure to a lot of people around Australia, not least Alan Border, who's just running into form now. It's had an ordinary sort of season by his standards.
He's hit that well, but Logie is down there, takes a wonderful catch. He rarely doesn't miss much in the outfield, or even close to the wicket. He is such a brilliant fielder. Anticipation, and then leapt at the last moment to haul it down.
That's brilliant stuff, and he's still suffering some inconvenience from that broken nose. Beautifully balanced. Super catch.
So Dean Jones caught Logie Bullwalsh 36. An important partnership ended for Australia, who are now 4 for 133.
Steve Waugh has joined Alan Border.
Very interesting final. Border doing well on 59. He's beaten outside the line of the off stump, not taken by Dujon. Maybe just a little bit of turn there for the off spinner. Going straight on, Dujon snatching at that one. Border in the air, big hit. 6, massive hit on the Melbourne cricket ground. That is a big hit.
Beautiful, and you better believe it. He smashed that in the middle of the bat. It's a long boundary down there. And it cleared it by a long way. What a magnificent hit, Alan Border.
Steve Bosch dropped it. Richards one-handed at mid-wicket. He hasn't been hanging on to it lately, Vivian. He jumped up, went with the one hand and knocked it down.
I think that's 3 out of 3 down for Richards. It was quite firmly hit. It would have been a tremendous wicket for the West Indies. He got one hand to it and it went straight out. He didn't obviously pick that one. He's normally so cool and calm when it comes to catches in the outfield.
And it's going to be Carl Hooper. Surprise move by Richards.
Just past the fieldsman, down to the boundary. That'll be 4. Very good shot from Stephen Waugh. He has this ability to get it over the head of the infield into the gap. And there are some flags in this crowd today.
He doesn't waste an opportunity, Stephen Waugh. He does pounce onto the bad delivery. It's well hit. Beautifully played, Stephen Waugh. He's a fine hitter of the ball, this young man. When the pressure's on, he really does find the gaps.
Yes, it's certainly not an easy time to bat. You've got to come in and throw the ball, throw the bat at the ball. And have a look at this shot. Into the gap it goes. He's hit it well enough for it to run all the way down there to the boundary. So really useful.
Out. He's got him. It's the wicket they wanted in the final overs when it counts. Border, the end of a superb knock. Whips it straight to mid-wicket, the full pitch, and Ambrose once again has struck.
Full toss this ball and hit off the meat of the bat straight to mid-wicket. And so that's the end of a very, very good innings from Alan Border. It's been it is a warm day out there. And he looks as if he's pretty warm himself. Well played, 5 for 176.
6 overs to be bowled, 5 for 176. Border out for 78, Jones 36. Fine partnership. Stephen Waugh 21 off 23. Simon O'Donnell yet to score. Marsh 18, Boone without scoring, Wood 6. Malcolm Marshall, good first spell after ordinary first over. Found good line and length. 6 overs, 1 made and 1 for 16. 7 runs off his first over, Malcolm Marshall today. It's well bowled. This is when it counts. This is when experience is so important. The man on strike, Stephen Waugh. He's a great competitor.
Yes, well, he'll be trying to work out now where he's going to hit Marshall. Just below 3 that run rate, just below 4 that run rate. And looking at the field, it seems to me that he's got an opportunity at fine leg. There's a gap down there. So if he can get it away fine into that area, beat that close fieldsman, he'll get a 4 there.
Straight to cover, hits the stumps to be gone, misses. O'Donnell was out by 5 metres. He's not happy, but Simon, you have to run. These are the final overs. It was Waugh's call. He called quickly.
The trouble was he hit it too well. He really did try and line that one up, and Simon O'Donnell was halfway down the pitch.
Now Steve Waugh's going to look for 2. That's well run. The fielding has been brilliant from the West Indians. Carl Hooper out in the outfield. Desmond Haynes. They're really applying the pressure as Australia struggle to get up past the 200 mark.
Certainly a bat.
Beautiful Yorker again, but it's cost 4 because they've pulled the man up from fine leg. What a gamble. It almost came off, but the little inside edge has taken it to 5 for 192. Good running again, 200 up, and this very big crowd, which like many Melbourne crowds has been extremely well behaved and enthusiastic today. Appreciates the 200 coming up. Well, what a marvellous catch. Steve Waugh wasn't quite sure what had happened to it. The West Indian players didn't know because it was encased in that great hand belonging to Curtly Ambrose.
He had no right to catch that as easily as that. He had nowhere to go. The ball coming straight at him. Just pops it over the shoulder. See you later, mate. Huge flash of teeth. Little twinkle in the eyes. But that was hit with a great deal of power. Bad luck about the accuracy. But Steve Waugh, tremendous hitting again. Almost a run of ball. Australia 6 for 200.
Ian Healy's the new batsman. And it's just a reminder that all reserve seats for Sydney on Monday have been sold. The SCG Trust and the New South Wales Cricket Association and the police force could do much worse than have a meeting, A, about what happened the other night and the other afternoon at the SCG, and B, about what is going to happen in the future. It was one of the more disappointing crowd performances I've ever seen on what is a great cricket ground. And one gone. O'Donnell goes. This is in the 49th over. It's desperation for Australia now to get that total up to around about the 220 mark.
It's one of the dying moments of this innings, and this is the sort of shot that is expected. An element of luck if it comes off. Races into the boundary, well played, but the wrong ball, the wrong line, and O'Donnell departs for 10, and Australia 7 for 202.
New batsman, Peter Taylor. Well, if he hits, he's out. There he goes. No need to stop, just keep running. Great game taking on Vivian Richards, but the great man has dropped some chances recently. Taylor decided to take the opportunity for a half a single.
Memories flood back of 1975, the inaugural World Cup. Viv Richards side on, picks it up. One stump to aim at. Taylor out by metres. What a great shy. Well, Daddle's a duck. Disappointment for Peter Taylor. But Australia now 8 for 202. Well, the signs tell it all. That huge man with the moustache has walked to the crease. Mervyn Hughes, preferred in the side to Craig McDermott. Only a handful of deliveries still to go by a score of 8. In fact, if he could get 8 today, it would be a great effort. They picked the wrong ball to charge into. Picked the wrong line. He doesn't believe it, and he's not happy with the umpire, Steve Randell.
That's a very good decision by umpire.
That could
Steve
be
Randell.
out,
Yes. So just one run conceded off the last over. A tremendous performance there by Curtly Ambrose. And that's the second time in this series that he's picked up 5 wickets in an innings. And he really has bowled the West Indies into a very good position in this match.
No doubt about that. Very adjacent. No daylight at all. The easy decision, this one, for Steve Randell. Back and across. Shin high. Number 5 for Curtly Ambrose. And what a performance from the big fella.
A competitive total of 204 in the end, although AB would have been looking for more, I'm sure. Border himself, along with Jones and Waugh, pushing the total past 200 at the end of the 50 overs. Border and Jones putting on 99 for the fourth wicket. Curtly Ambrose was the destroyer for the Windies, finishing with the amazing one-day figures of 5 for 26 off his 10 overs, if you can believe that. Malcolm Marshall collected 2 scalps, while Courtney Walsh cleaned up Dino. So 205 runs at a rate of 4.1, and the Windies were home. Tony Cozier was in the box at the start of the innings, so too was Greg Chappell, as Gordon Greenwich faced Merv Hughes in the second over. The score, none for 3.
He's got it through, and it'll go all the way. Got it off the meat of the bat, hit it into the ground, and a good shot by Greenwich.
An excellent square drive there from Gordon Greenwich. Really timed the ball very nicely. Banged it into the ground.
Hughes now to Haynes. He's dropped it. He's put it down at gully. Now that was a straightforward chance to Jeff Marsh. He doesn't miss much in that position. He's a specialist. That came straight into his lap.
Not happy with himself, Jeffrey Marsh. He kicks the dirt because he would consider that a fairly simple opportunity lost. He's extremely good in the gully. And that one was just a little bit away to his left. And a good opportunity goes begging for Australia.
Well, the target for the West Indies is only 205. The Australians need to take everything that comes to hand, hit the stumps with every return that will effect a run out, and to field everything. And in the course of 4 deliveries, they have missed the stumps, they've dropped the catch, and they've allowed the batsman to get 3. With a bit of misfielding. Beautifully taken. What a magnificent catch. It's all been happening. And Healy inspires the Australians once again.
Well, he certainly made up for that slight error at the other end, Ian Healy. That was a magnificent catch. Inside edges are always tough for the keeper. Merv has bowled extremely well in his last over and a half. That one caught a thick inside edge. Once again, it's the flying goalkeeper type catch from Ian Healy. Just the break the Australians needed. West Indies first wicket down with the score at 14.
New batsman is Richie Richardson, coming in to replace Gordon Greenwich.
Oh, big appeal there. He's got him. He's out. LBW. Beautiful delivery. Got him back on the back foot. Big appeal, and umpire Randall has given him out. Hughes has struck again.
Yes, he's bowled very well, and so has his partner. They kept the pressure on the batsman. He's been moving the ball around off the seam. That one cut back. He had one earlier shot that was very, very close. This time Haynes moves across, the ball cutting back, and there was no doubt about that. That was out. Would have taken middle and leg stump, and Haynes is out. The 2 openers out, so the West Indies really struggling in the first final. Haynes out, LBW for 6, and it's 2 for 16 in the 8th over.
Gus Logie is the new batsman. Oh, and just wide. Dean Jones in the air there, fully stretched, but couldn't quite get to it. Down to the boundary for 4, and the West Indies 2 for 23. Alderman again. Oh, and that must have been close. Yes, he's given him out. He's got him, LBW. Hook, line and sinker. He's gone for the pull shot. That ball swung down the line, and he totally misread the legs.
Well, the pressure certainly got to Gus Logie. That was never on. If you're going to hit Alderman, you've got to hit straight down the ground over mid-iron or cover. If it's offside, at this time trying to swing away what appeared to be a fairly good length ball, just short of a good length. And that ball swinging may have nearly missed off stump. It was a tough decision, but the umpire had a good hard look, and Rogi's out. And the crowd are going mad at the Melbourne cricket ground. The West Indians stumbling to 3 for 23. Well, Richards coming out. Big question to ask of the great batsman now. Side's in a lot of trouble. He hasn't really been playing in great touch of late.
Oh, what a shot. Magnificent shot. Pitched up on leg stump, and he simply whipped it over the infield down towards mid-wicket to the boundary. He looks pretty serious, Viv Richards.
And he'll need to be. That one was on leg stump. He timed it to perfection, such as the brilliance of Vivian Richards with the field up in the first 15 overs. But that won't deter Terry Alderman. He'll keep the ball up, the ball moving. He won't be discouraged by that shot at all. Maybe just get a little bit more towards middle and off stump.
We've got a man back now at backward square leg.
Well, that is a magnificent shot. On the back foot, beautifully balanced, and a real tease for Merv Hughes. He's bowled 7 overs. He won't have enjoyed that race around the boundary. Ball moving away. Magnificent power too. Very evident in the Viv Richards makeup is his ability to place the ball. Sometimes he plays a few more shots than he ought to early, tending to try and use a powerhouse approach, but a very probing time now for the West Indies captain.
Now someone who's got a call for that. Don't crash one another. Got it. Border has called for it. Marsh was going but stopped. Richards has gone. And Alderman, going past that 7 overs, has claimed a wicket in his 8th. And that is brilliant for Australia.
Well, even the great players are vulnerable. One of Viv Richards' strengths to be able to hit the ball through mid-wicket. But as Alderman has done so often, moved the ball away, the leading edge, and hung up a long time. The crowd just about bring the roof off the MCG. Alderman gets his 2nd in his 8th over. And ecstasy for the Australians. Richard, the man they wanted, on his way for 14. And the West Indies in a bit of trouble at 4 for 41.
That's very well run, because the ball was picked up only a couple of metres outside that 30-yard circle. Richardson is like lightning between the wickets.
Oh, that's a good shot. You blaze that one away. You can put your glasses down. One bounces back 20 metres inside the gutter. Australian 50 up in 97 balls. The West Indies 124 balls. Look at that for a shot. On the front foot. Rolled the wrist at the point of contact, and that has hit just about middle.
That's well hit. That'll clear the fence. Into the 3rd row.
This man looks a good player every now and again. He looks absolutely brilliant. Watch this shot. He hardly seemed to hit that, and yet it's gone way over the top. Down to that long boundary. Magnificent 6. The West Indies have, as we've said, scored at 3 and over. They're starting to improve things a little bit. In the beginning, they were, apart from that 2nd over, below 3. They lost 2 wickets.
And well taken by Ian Healy. That's a great breakthrough for Simon O'Donnell. Richardson and Hooper were just starting to get back into this game. And now the odds are right in Australia's favour.
A big edge, this one. The ball wide outside off stump. He tried to run it to third man, and Healy was very quick to move. Both gloves to it. And that's a very important wicket. Richie Richardson was beginning to look dangerous. 24 of 49 balls. And Simon O'Donnell has struck for Australia. The West Indies now 5 down for 76.
Well, Jeffrey Dujon has got the sleeves rolled up as though he means business. It's well hit. Likes that short stuff. He's already hooked Simon O'Donnell for 6. They'll get 4 for that one.
If anything short, he's going to punish, and this is an example. There's no one over the top of mid-wicket. He didn't exactly middle it, but he got it on its way down towards the boundary. Obviously wasn't going to reach there, wasn't hit quite firmly enough, but they still ran 4.
He's got that one in the middle.
Has he ever? He's taken that one from just outside off stump. He's had a look down at the bat there, and I bet there's a little red mark right in the sweet spot.
Might even be a white one there with it as well, Greggy. Short in the air, Dean Jones, he's got it. And isn't Carl Hooper annoyed with himself? Short delivery, he could have put it anywhere, but he hit it straight down Dean Jones' throat.
And I tell you what, Dean Jones didn't half enjoy that. Hooper looking very miserable. Rank long hop, and Dean Jones, having dropped one in that self-same position, takes it, and have a look at him go. Another vital breakthrough for Australia. Hooper out for 33 or 44 balls, and it's 6 for 108.
Malcolm Marshall comes to the crease at the fall of the 6th wicket, and moving into the commentary position now, it's Max Walker and Tony Cozier.
And that's a good shot by Marshall. Lifted it deliberately over the head of Border. Border has had a number of caught and bowl chances during the course of the competition. He wouldn't be too displeased with that, but he hit it well.
It's controlled hitting. A lot of bottom hand. Just enough to get it up above the bowler.
It's in the air. And Wood not quite being able to get there. Top edge.
Let's have a look at it. There it is, high in the air. Wood goes to ground a little bit early.
You'll have to hurry here. He's gone. Marshall is not happy. Marshall is reluctant to go.
Well, the umpire is always right, Steve Randall. It might be a moment like this that he would need to dig deep into the trouser pocket and pull out a minty. But certainly interesting to have a look at that side on. A false start before Border picks up on his left hand. That's the hand that gives him easy access, and there is no doubt at all.
7 for 129. So here's Peter Taylor now. That's a big one. It's gone into the advertising boards, so it'll count for 4. But he really put some bat onto that one.
That's in the air, and Dean Jones is under it. He'll catch this too, no trouble at all.
But Jeffrey Dujon knew as soon as he'd hit it, he knew that he'd picked out Jones. It was just a matter of whether the outfielder hung on to it or not. And Dean Jones took his second outfield catch in that mid-wicket position. So the 8th wicket is down for the West Indies with 148 on the board. Ian Bishop has come in at number 10.
Well, that's well hit. That's a gap. That would have probably been 3 or 4 anyway, because that's a mid-wicket position. Hughes trying to run it down. Look at him go. What a trier. What an effort. But they run 4 anyway, but the big fast bowler gives 200%.
Forty runs required, 38 balls remaining. And when some of the top order batsmen sitting there in the dressing room look at that equation, or the runs to get, they must be hanging their head. Some of the shots that were played early on weren't too good.
That's a good shot. That's out into the gaps. That could well be 4. Jones is the fieldsman, not getting there. They need 6 runs and over. Surely Bishop and Ambrose can't get them up, but they're going to go down fighting. As Ian Chappell said, they need 1 top order batsman there now, or 1 batsman, to take control of this situation as the 2 tail-enders fight for these runs.
Hughes to bowl from the southern end. O'Donnell still has overs in hand, so does Border. But it's becoming very difficult for Border to bowl himself now. Four.
Wow, how about that? A little deflection 4.
It's Simon O'Donnell to bowl. Good Yorker. Good Yorker. Curtly Ambrose has done a magnificent job out there. Not all of that applause will be for Simon O'Donnell.
No, he didn't pick the full pitch. It was another Yorker. It was there to be put away, actually, but he drew away, and it just, instead of coming forward, he swung across to the onside, and it took the stumps. A magnificent delivery under pressure, but it's not over yet. 9 to win off the last over for Mervyn Hughes, so they need a couple of boundaries. In reality, as Walsh comes out, but Bishop's on strike, and what a finish. Well, pressure for Mervyn Hughes now. They need a boundary. He should contain Walsh. Walsh is the number 11, the batting bunny. The crowd, they can't stand it. It's enormous pressure. Merv, the hero, bowling. The outer standing to a man, cheering, stamping. Over the keeper's heads a go for Walsh. That's the unprotected area. Here comes Mervyn Hughes for the final delivery.
Border has saved it. It was a good shot. It went like a rocket, and if Border hadn't stopped it, there's no way the man at point on the fence could have got round to it. The Australians have won, but what a tremendous fight by the West Indians.
What a nail-biter, and certainly worthy of a final there. The top of the West Indian order must have been kicking themselves as the lower half showed the way. Hooper, Dujon and the bowlers doing their level best to push for victory. The Aussies' bowling honours were shared 4 ways with Alderman, Hughes, O'Donnell and Taylor each taking 2. Unfortunately, the Aussies couldn't continue the winning form to claim the title, although the Windies did claim the third and deciding final of the series in pretty controversial circumstances when they won the game on superior run rate after rain reduced the game, and with the Windies batting second, they were able to claim victory. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed these matches as much as we have bringing them to you. Look out for the other videos in this series. Until then, I'm Tony Jones. Goodbye.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.